Hi, my name is Chinma and welcome to the episode 2, The Chronicles of a Pastor's Daughter. On this episode, I'm going to be talking about what it felt like growing up in church, the faith, watching my father preach, seeing the sacrifices, the hunger, and the early confusions, people calling him man of God, but at home the struggles were real, how the congregation's expectations affected my childhood. All of this I'm going to be talking about in this episode. If you missed episode 1, please do well to watch this where the story began. So spend a few minutes with me while I do a cleanup in our family house during the Christmas period. While I tell you my life in episode 2. So many people think growing up in church is a privilege. They never tell you it's also a weight. A heavy weight placed on a child who never asked to carry it. This is the chapter where I stopped being just a child and became a responsibility. Listen, I didn't grow up in a normal house. I grew up in a church parsonage where the walls heard prayers before laughter. There was no clear line between church and home. Our living room was sometimes a counseling room. Our dining table was sometimes an altar. Silence didn't exist either. I watched my father preach with fire. People clapped, shouted, Amen, called him man of God. But I also watched him come home tired, kneel beside the bed and whisper prayers he never preached. At church, he looked strong. At home, I saw the weight. Faith was loud in our home, but food wasn't always. There were days faith fed us. There were days it only taught us patience. I learned early how to be quiet when I was hungry, how to believe God for things other children just asked their parents for. Hunger taught me endurance. Faith taught me hope. Childhood taught me silence. People think pastors' homes are full of peace, but sometimes peace is something you fight for. I heard whispers of conversations late at night, financial worries, ministry disappointments. I learned how to read emotions instead of storybooks. I wasn't just Chinma. I was the pastor's child. I couldn't laugh too loud. I couldn't cry too much. I couldn't fail publicly. When I made mistakes, it wasn't just my mistake. It was a reflection of my father. So I learned to behave before I learned to be. So growing up like that shaped me. I became observant, responsible, emotionally older than my age. But I also became cautious, afraid of disappointing people I never promised to please. I didn't just grow up fast. I grew up carrying other people's expectations. Ministry raised me. Faith shaped me. Pressure molded me. I didn't know it then, but the weight I carried as a child was preparing me for the strength I would need as an adult. If you grew up in a church or grew up too fast because of responsibilities, you are not alone, my darling. Share your story in the comments. Subscribe to this channel. This diary is just getting deeper. Next,